I feel like in college especially, there's a bit of a double standard when it comes to women's sexuality. I feel like women are oftentimes viewed as a little more promiscuous when they decide to experiment and kind of find themselves sexually, as opposed to when a man experiments and kind of just goes off and does a single thing.
I feel like black women are treated different sexually than women in other cultures because we're kind of seen as like lesser in some senses. Like I heard a survey once where black women were rated as like the least attractive women out of everyone. So like behind white people, Hispanics, like Asians, and So I feel like sometimes people kind of put us down in that way.
I was raised with a strong female upbringing. I was raised with my grandma, my mom, and my sister for the first couple years of my life. So growing up, I don't know, I was around women, and their role as being sexualized in society, I saw it a lot through my sister and some of the pressure she faced about some of the clothes she needed to wear when she went to certain things. It's a shame, and I think it's like, especially for being a man, it's our responsibility to kind of break those stereotypes.
If I had multiple sex partners and people knew about it, I would definitely be seen as a hoe, whore, slut, etc. If I did have multiple sex partners, I wouldn't make it known because of that fact, and I know it would turn off a lot of men because who wants what somebody or a lot of other people I've already had.
I feel like as a black woman, I am treated differently sexually. I feel like black women are sexualized or supposed to look a certain way to certain people, but then other people look at black women as like ugly or like nasty and not sexy. So I guess it depends on people's perception, but definitely like in comparison to like white culture or like Latino or something like that, it's definitely not as good.
I feel that black women do differ from every culture, not just specifically white. I feel like black women have a lot of other things, even from like past times. Black women were the ones who were raped, who were slaves, housewives, and things like that. And I think it's crazy how it all kind of descends and comes back around. But nowadays, I think black women with societies like media and things like that, sexuality is a big, I guess, dinger or like downfall for black women, and they're kind of already put into a negative light.
Yeah, when males have more sexual partners than women, they're seen as players. They're obviously like celebrated with their friends. For women, it's much different. They're seen as like they're seen as easy. They're seen as more negatively than it is for men, and that's just another double standard.
I don't think that I'm treated differently. I think that all girls in a way have a way of being sexually looking, like men looking at them sexually. Like if a black girl were to walk by with like some little shorts and a little shirt, like obviously all men are going to look at her. Like a Mexican girl, white girl, it's like all the same. So in that aspect of me being treated differently, I don't think so.
I think there's a lot of stereotypes with black females because there really are a lot of different types of black females. And a lot of black females have strong personalities, and I feel like people think that's easy to mimic or make fun of, or they're just curious about it in general. So rather than get to learn about it, they just decide they'll make fun of it since they don't understand it.
A lot of black men, when they drag our race down and our culture down, like the other cultures are going to drag us down just as well, and they're going to think we're worthless as well. And sometimes it's ironic because it's like Mexican men and men not of color who think that black women are beautiful and see them as like trophy wives, and like, why wouldn't you want to be with her? She's beautiful. So it's really the black men that oftentimes just look at black women as like worthless.
If I were to have multiple sex partners, I feel like I would be seen as trashy or be seen as a slut because in a lot of communities, especially the black community, you definitely want to be pure, and church is a big part of the black community. So if you were to have multiple sex partners, you would be seen as demoralizing yourself and degrading your body. So